Right now at noon on this Monday, a young boy is dead after a hit-and-run crash. What investigators now say happened leading up to that incident.
And we're going to have more locally heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours here, how much we're expecting in some locations ahead in the forecast.
Also today, community leaders here in Indianapolis are reimagining a free youth program that kicks off this summer. We have details surrounding this free initiative where the overall goal is to curb youth violence. And thanks for joining us at noon on this Monday. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan, along with our meteorologist, Sean Ash, who has word of a wet and muggy afternoon ahead. And it's going to be a little bit different depending on where you are.
Well, some people that may want some rain will be disappointed. Some that got 3-4 inches of rain over the weekend may get another bout.
Oh, no.
So if you've been outside, you know how humid it is.
It really is. It's kind of that air you can wear.
Yeah, and that, I mean, we could have 2-inch per hour rain rates. So it won't take a long time to cause some street flooding. Want you to be aware of that. Doesn't mean it's going to rain or storm all day long, but you need to be weather aware. Know that fair game anytime until we can get a front through here later this evening. And anything on radar between now and the middle part of Friday has downpour potential. Now, what's over the metro area right now is actually from earlier action, and it's in a weakening phase, but some raindrops are happening. What we're going to be focusing on is to the southwest and west of the metro area, where we're getting some breaks in the cloud deck. There's a little twist in the atmosphere. And I mentioned it is a highly juicy atmosphere, so anything on radar is going to put down some very heavy rain rates. You see all of those flash flood warnings. That is very much a possibility, in addition to a low-end risk of severe weather over the southwestern corner of the state. Now, with all that said, this cloud cover is helping us out right now. It's limiting the instability in the atmosphere. If anything does develop, it's going to take much longer for the eastern side of the state. These are the cells we'll be watching closely this afternoon as they cross over the state line. You can see 79 in Terre Haute. That 76 in Indy, by the way, comes with a dew point that's nearly matching it. This is as humid as it gets around here, and that's what's going to fuel some of these thunderstorms. Relief is in the forecast. We'll have more on that ahead in a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thank you. We'll check back. In the meantime, here's some of the latest headlines for you on this Monday. This afternoon, we now know the name of a 50-year-old man who was killed in a hit and run. This occurred on the south side of Indianapolis, and the Marion County coroner now is identifying that man as Earl Scruggs. Scruggs was killed after he was hit by a vehicle around 10 o'clock last night along East Raymond, right off the I-65 off-ramp. Police say that's where they found Scruggs. He went to the hospital, and that's where he later died. Police also say the driver responsible did not stay on the scene. So right now, the hunt is on to find that person. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. And police in Cumberland also are searching for a driver in another deadly hit and run there. This one killed a little 6-year-old boy. The crash happened yesterday around 2:30. Police say someone flagged them down on East Washington Street, saying that there was someone out there lying in the middle of the street. And that person was little 6-year-old Jari Vontae Spencer. Officers then immediately performed CPR on the child. He later died at the hospital. Police now say they believe that he is autistic and he was able to get out of his home without anyone knowing. They say he then wandered into the street where he was hit by a car. And again, the driver did not stay at the scene. If you know anything about this, please call police. Also, Metro Police say they're investigating on the west side. That's where a 22-year-old woman was killed in a shooting. We want to show you what that scene looked like around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon near West 10th Street near North Lyndhurst. That's where officers found Jadea Cousin shot. She went to the hospital in critical condition, and she later died. Police believe this shooting stems from a disturbance outside an apartment complex that was near Whitcomb Terrace. We're told several people were detained at the scene, all later released.
Still to this day, we have no answers. No one has been arrested. No accountability has been held. And we want answers, we want justice for DeAndre Clay Staples, 14 years old.
We are now turning to another gut-wrenching story of grief, and it's one, frankly, that we hear far too often. Young people in our community killed by gun violence and families left grieving without answers and so much grief. Over the weekend, dozens of parents came together. They gathered on Monument Circle where they honored the lives lost and their standing with survivors. Logan Gay has more on Gun Violence Awareness Day and also the desperate call for change.
Peace. On Monument Circle Sunday, peace. Dozens of women dressed in orange shared a clear message for the Indianapolis community.
Stop gun violence.
The gun violence.
Please put the guns down. Parents, know where your kids at night.
They're part of A Mother's Cry, a support group through the Ross Foundation for moms who've lost children to gun violence. For Mary Love, the mission is personal. Her son was shot and killed in 2018.
We support each other. We support other mothers that have lost their kids. And we're out here for gun violence this month to put the guns down.
The support was on full display as mothers, grandmothers, and family members held photos of loved ones they've lost. Among them, Lexi Lynn Ramona, who is still searching for justice for her 14-year-old granddaughter, Deandra Clay Staples. Deandra was shot and found dead in the snow at the Laurelwood Apartments in January 2025. Ramona says what concerns her most is how often both the victims and suspects are young people.
How are children continually getting away with murdering children, adults? Anyone they feel, and no one's being held accountable. Not just my granddaughter, but just this year alone, we've had so many crimes done by children under the age of 21.
Dee Ross with the Ross Foundation says the danger has gotten out of hand in Indianapolis.
This year, kids can't even have open houses, kids can't even go to graduations, kids can't even go to proms without some type of violence happening. And we are banding together and saying enough is enough.
For the families gathered here, the goal is simple: prevent others from joining their circle.
We need to put kids in a position where they can be a kid again and not have to worry about surviving anymore.
In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Metro Police say a big part of the work to curb youth violence this summer is coming from community groups that are stepping up and connecting young people to the resources they need. And we have a look at one program that's doing just that. It's called Summer in the City, and it starts this week. Every Friday and Saturday, Brightwood Forest Manor Community Center hosts kids ages 12 to 17. They can play games, enjoy music from a live DJ, and also get some food. And the goal is to have meaningful conversations too.
We're always considering conflict resolution, coping skills, react versus respond, but also really considering mental health, that our young people aren't acting out for no reason, and Let Them Talk is very skilled at diving in a little bit deeper and trying to understand the why behind their activities.
The Office of Public Health and Safety plans to gather feedback this year with the goal to help the program grow. It runs through August 29th. It's free. All you have to do is register ahead of time, and we have a link where you can do just that at our website right now, WTHR.com. Also, leaders with Aspire House Indy are launching their first ever after-hours program. This aims to give teens and young adults something to do, and they say it's actually fun, and when they're done, they walk away with valuable skills. You can learn some basic cooking skills, woodworking, and more. This program is hosted at the Old Firehouse that's located on Udell Street. It runs every Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 11 at night, now through the 1st of August. This is for ages 15 to 20, and families can register by clicking on this story online at WTHR.com. So some good options there. And this is the data. We're getting our first look at it. These are results from the 2026 Kids Count Data Book. This is that annual report that analyzes how young people in Indiana are doing in relation to their peers across the country. These scores track four main topics. They are economic well-being, education, health, and family and community. So let's look at the numbers. Right now in economic well-being, Indiana ranks 23rd. Education, 11th. In health, 27th. That is better than the last 4 years. And in family and community, Indiana ranking 36th. That's down from 31st just last year. Overall, the score for Indiana kids is 566 out of 1,000. In summary, we're doing best when it comes to economic well-being and worst in education. If you'd like to look at this data a little bit more deeply, we have the full report posted for you at WTHR.com. Now to global news right now. A young tourist has been found dead after going missing for over a week. What police in Japan are now saying is they continue the investigation into that death. Sean.
Well, muggy air blankets Indiana much of this week. We'll let you know when it's going to break and which day will have the highest storm chance ahead in the forecast.